Hello everyone. Okay, time is finally here. MTH 105. We are starting tutorial tonight. So thank you for joining the stream. Okay, so just wait for others to join and we can proceed. This is going to be how we're going to do it. A lot of us have right the live game. Sorry for the interruption. I think that's from the network. So majority, if I'm not mistaken, majority already have an understanding of what matrices is, arithmetic progression, geometric progression, and logic. So for the purpose of going through this material, which is more of a revision, I want us to touch some parts that we have not really touched. So tonight we'll be touching the parts of coordinates of points and in coordinate of points and that of interceptions of line, solving problems with simultaneous, solving problems simultaneously. So we just wait for others to join and we just get on with it. Okay, so Mr. Joseph, it's great to have you join us. Okay, just while we wait for others to join, so I'll just write okay, Miss Rosita, you're welcome. Okay, so we have MTH 105. So we have touching coordinates. Just before you joined, I said something about for the purpose of the majority, we'll be starting with some topics, some parts in MTH 105 that we have not really treated like that in our previous class. I believe that majority has an understanding, has a comprehension of matrices, logic, arithmetic progression, geometric progression. So we're not going to be starting, excuse me, we're not going to be starting from there. We're going to be starting from a bit something different so we can from there move on. So I have okay, let me set my material. Coordinates of points. Coordinates of points. I think I need to take that back a bit. Coordinates of points of interceptions. Of interceptions of lines. So that's what we are going to be treating tonight. Coordinates of interceptions of lines, and we are going to be using the simultaneous approach to solving questions. So the very first question we'll be solving tonight is a question from one of the questions from one of the questions from our TMA. So I have it here as find coordinates of the point of interception using simultaneously find, okay, let me use solving simultaneously find the find the coordinate of the points point of interception solving simultaneously find the point of interception of the lines. We have A, 2x plus 3y equals 5, and we have B, x plus 2y equals 3. So this is what we are asked to solve simultaneously. Okay, I don't want to go into this without having almost everybody on board, but it seems a lot of persons are yet to join. Okay. Just a moment. Just trying to send. Okay, so I really want a lot of us to be on board, so we can go through this. Together without any delay. Okay, so that's the question we are solving simultaneously, and we're going through these once and for all tonight, and in our next tutorial we'll be looking at something else. And from there call it a wrap. So let's just go into it. I believe you can always come back to the video and watch. So let's take it out. So we have A as 2x plus 3y equals 5. So we leave that as A, and our B we have x plus 2y equals 3. Now we are asked to solve this simultaneously. So what is expected of us, whether you are not even told simultaneously or you are told simultaneously, seeing your questions coming out like this, then you have to solve them simultaneously. So we have solution. So we can say 2x plus 3y equals 5 is our equation 1, and we can say x plus 2y is equals to 3 is our equation 2. So now, what is expected of us in a situation like this? We are going to use the elimination method, using the elimination method. But before we can apply the elimination method, you see, either of these two has to be equal. Either of these two has to be the same thing. Either of these has to be the same thing. You understand? So what we are going to do is that we have to think. This is 2x, this is 3y. This is just x. It is assumed that there's an invisible one here. It's assumed that there's an invisible one. So how can we make either of all these things equal? So the next thing to do is, now let's try this method. Now let's multiply equation 2 by 2. Let's try multiplying equation 2 by 2 and let's see what we get. Now we have, this is 2, we want to multiply by this equation 2. So we have 2 multiplied by 1x, that gives us 2x, plus 2 multiplied by 2y, that gives us 4y. Then we have 2 multiplied by 3, that gives us 6. Now, from what we have here, can you now see that we have 2x here, we have 2x here. We have 4y, this is still okay. We have 5 and we have 6. Now, this, what we are particular about is making either of any of the coefficient of x or y the same thing. And we have been able to do that successfully by making x, the coefficient of x, 2 instead of 1 that was here. So from here now we can now say, I might need to erase this so we can have enough space. Okay, now let me just write this out. Let me just write it out. So we have 2x. Okay, we have 2x plus 3y equals 5 as equation 1, and we have 1x plus 2y equals 3 as equation 2. And we said using elimination method. Now make any of the coefficients of x or y equal. And to achieve that, we then say multiply. To achieve that, we then say multiply equation 2 multiplied by 2. Now after multiplying equation 2 by 2, then we arrived at 2x plus 2y. No, we arrived at 2x plus 4y equals 6, and that is equation 3. Now let's bring down our equation 1 now and 2. Now this equation 3 is taking the place of equation 2. Now we'll now say substitute. I'm trying to manage space, even though I have brought it down just the way it is, but since it's up here, let's just leave it the way it is. And let's now say subtract equation now equation 3. This is equation 3. Now let's subtract equation 1 from equation 3. Now subtract equation 1 from equation 3. Now subtracting equation 1 from 3, then we'll have these two. I think I might need to bring this down so you can see it. Now to subtract equation 3 from 2, now we have equation 2 as equation 1, I beg your pardon. Equation 1 says 2x. I believe we can see 2x plus 3y equals 5. It is equation 1. And equation 3 says 2x plus 4y equals what? 6. This is equation 3. Now subtracting equation 1 from equation 3, then we have this cancels this, this cancels this. Now we have, when you remove 3 from 4, you are left with 1y. When you remove 5 from 6, then you are left with just 1. And 1y equals y is as good as y equals 1. I believe we can see this clearly. Are we all together? Mr. Joseph. Okay, let me go to the comment section. Okay, we have about 10 persons streaming this live, and I have just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have just about. Why do we start with equation 2 and not 1? Why do we start with equation 2 and not 1? Now let me explain to you, Mr. Jolas. Now this is the question. This is the question. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Okay, Mr. Justice, you are welcome. So Mr. Jolas asked the question, why do we start with equation 2 and not 1? Now to explain that, this is our question here. We have equation 1 as 2x plus 3y equals 5. And we have equation 2 as 1x plus... Now this is... Originally, there is no 1 here. But it is assumed that there's an invisible 1. So I wrote it. It's assumed that there's an invisible 1. Now, plus 2y, which is equals to 3. Now, we are using the elimination method. And for us to apply elimination method, either of the coefficient of x or y, make any of the coefficients of x or y equal. Meaning that we have to have, just like we have here, after we had multiplied and subtracted, we now had 2 for equation 1 and 2 for equation 2 that we later turned into equation 3. Now, why that came first, we said why is equation 2 and not 1? Now, after we make the coefficient of either x or y equal, then to achieve that we have to multiply equation 2. Now, the reason why we now have to multiply equation 2 and not 1 is because x here is standing alone. X here is standing alone. Then we assume that there is a 1. Equation 1, by what we have here, is already greater than this. So it has to be equation 2 because we are trying to make equation 2 up to the level of equation 1 according to this elimination method and according to the fact that we are looking for the equals. You understand? And the only loop... Okay, sorry for the glitch in network there. Sorry for that. I believe we are all together now. I believe we are all on the same page. Okay, are we all on the same page? Are we good to go? Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry for the. So now Mr. Ajula said it's understood. Okay, that was good. Thank God. I believe everybody as well, we are all on the same page. So now we've been able to get y, we've been able to solve for y. So we have it here as y equals 1. So what we are solving for now is x. Or maybe I try it here. Y equals 1 and x now is what we are solving for. X is what we are solving for now. So let me erase this. Let me erase this quickly. Now, let me erase this. Now, to solve for x, since we already know our y, then we will now substitute to solve for x. Substitute y equals 1 into any of the equation, whether equation 1 or equation 2. So nonetheless, we'll do for the 2. Now, y equals 1 in equation 1 now. In equation 1 and equation 2. So in equation 1, we have 2x plus 3 into bracket 1 equals 5. In equation 2, we have 1x plus 2 into bracket 1 equals 3. Now we have 2x plus 3 times 1, 3 equals 5. We have 1x plus 2 equals 3. So we have 5. We bring this 5. Oh no, okay, now let me take it this way. Excuse me. So we bring this 2x down, then we have equals. We are trying to switch sides now. Then we have equals. This 5 comes to the front, then this 3 goes back, then it turns minus 3. Here we have 1x plus this 1x equals, we bring this 3, and this becomes 2. Okay, then we have so for this one, we have equation 2, we have 2x plus 3 into y equals 5. We have 2x plus 3. We bring out 2 plus, 5. So we have 2x plus, we have 2x equals, this is 2. It might not even be enough. I might just have to. But I believe you all can see what I'm doing here. So I have this one now is 1x equals, this is 1. So just like as I said earlier on, 1x is as good as x. X is equals to 1. So for this one, we have 2x is equals to 2. So divide both sides by 2. So we divide here, we are left with s. We divide here, we are left with 1. So now x equals to 1. When you substitute y equals 1 in either equation 1 or either equation 2, you see have your answer as 1, 1. I believe that is clear enough. So to answer our question, solving simultaneously for this, so we have y is 1 and x is 1. So our answer is 1, 1. Okay, Mr. Jola say I should come again. Okay, now, Mr. Jolas, do you understand how we got our y? Do you understand up to the point at which we got our y? Mr. Jolas, do you understand up to the point whereby we got our y? Awesome, yes, awesome. Now, very well then. Now, so we are now solving for our x. Now, to solve our x, since we already have our y as 1, so we are now going to substitute into any of these equations, whether equation 1 or equation 2. We are going to substitute into it wherever we see y. Any coefficient of y will turn it into, like this one now we have 3y, then this y will substitute into -1. This y, put it here, -1. So now, in order to prove that we are right, I did for 2 equations. It's not necessary, actually. But in order to prove our, at this point, it's still an hypothesis. In order to prove to test the soludability, as we have learned in our CSS class, the soludability. In order to test it, so I had to solve y into the 2 equation, but it's actually not necessary. It's time wasting. So far you have gotten your y, you substitute into any of the equations. So now this is it. This is equation 1. This is for equation 1, and this is for equation 2. Now, for equation 1 says, maybe I should have written it like this. Equation 1 and equation 2. Now, equation 1 says 2x plus 3 into bracket y. So, instead of putting y here, I'm substituting it for 1, since we've already gotten our answer, equals 5. So, I have 2x plus 3. 3 times 3 multiplied by 1 gives us 3. That's why you are seeing this 3 here, equals to 5. This 5 is here. Now, 2x is here, equals, now we have to switch sides. Bringing this 5 here, it remains positive, but taking this 3 back, it turns negative. That's why you have 5 minus 3. So now we have 2x. Now 5 minus 3 gave us 2. 5 minus 3 gives us 2, and that's why you are seeing 2 here. If there was enough space, I would have written it out that divide both sides by 2. So I have to divide both sides by 2 in order to disengage the coefficient of x. So in order to disengage the coefficient of x, I had to divide both sides by 2. So I have 2x equals 2. So I divided it by both sides by 2. I have 2 divided by 2 gives us 1. Then 2x over 2. 2 cancel 2, though we are left with x. So x now equals 1. So we've been able to substitute y equals 1 in equation 1. So in equation 2, to substitute y equals 1, we have 1x, which is the same thing as x. You can write it either ways. Whether you write x or you write 1x, you are correct. So either ways, 1x plus 2, which is equation 2, then this y, we substitute it with 1, equals 3. So we have 1x plus 2 equals 3. This 2 multiplied by substitution of y, which is 1. So we have that as that. Then we have 1x equals 3 minus 2. This 3 is brought forward, then 2 is brought back. Then there's a negative sign. Okay, so we have to divide both sides by, okay, there's no need to divide both sides. 1 is equal as x, and this is equals 1. So we have that as that. So are we clear, Mr. Jolas? Mr. Joseph, Mr. Justin, okay, who else? Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Jonas and Mr. Joseph. Yeah. So we've been able to attempt this question. So let's just move to the next question. Now, yes, thank you. Now, the second question is a little bit technical, so I need us all to pay attention, please. So it says here that UAC Foods use 10 bags of flour and 5 tins of butter. UAC Foods, UAC Foods use 10 bags of flour, 10 bags of flour and 5 tins of butter. 10 bags of flour and 5 tins of butter, 10 bags of flour and 5 tins of butter to produce 100 wraps of gala. To produce 100 wraps of gala. Okay, 100 wraps of gala. Now, and UTC. Now, UTC uses 15 bags of flour, uses 15 bags of flour and 8 uses 15 bags of flour and 8 tins of butter and 8 tins of butter, 15 bags of flour and 8 tins of butter to produce 120 wraps of gala. To produce 120 wraps of gala. Now, find how many wraps of gala that can be produced with 30 bags of flour and 15 tins of butter. Now, find how many wraps of gala how many wraps of gala can be produced from 30 bags of flour and 15 butters. From 30 bags of flour and 15 butters. Okay, 15 tins of butters. So we have our question. So we have UAC Foods uses 10 bags of flour, 10 UAC 10 bags of flour, 5 tins of butter to produce 100 wraps of gala. UTC uses 15 bags of flour to produce 8 tins of butter to produce 120 wraps of gala. Now find how many wraps of gala can be produced with 30 bags of flour and 15 tins of butter. So we solve this simultaneously as well. So I'm just going to erase the question and let's have our equation written out. Alright, so we have UAC. We have 10 bags of flour, which is 10F, plus 5 tin of butter. They use it to produce 100 wraps. 100 wraps. This is equation 1. So we have UTC. UTC uses 15 bags of flour. 15 bags of flour plus 8 tin of butter to produce 120 bags, 120 wraps of gala. So we have that as that. So now we have our equation 1 and we have our equation 2. Now we are also using this elimination method, just like the way we solved for the very first question. So now, and let's not forget, okay, now let me use, I think I'm using my marker. Let me change this marker. Solving simultaneously using the elimination method. Now, but before we can apply the elimination method, we have to ensure that either of the coefficient of f or t are the same thing. Either of the coefficient of f or t, they are the same thing. So how do we achieve that? How do we achieve that? So what we are going to do, just like how we did the other one, that we had to multiply equation 1 by 2 and later minus it from equation 2. Now, so in this case as well, what we're doing is that in order for us to get this, the both of these equal, in order to get both of these equal, then we'll have to divide by 5 and multiply by 8. This is just one method out of several other methods. But what has to be done is that you have to prove how you arrive at your answer. Now, in this case, we are going to be dividing equation 1 by 5, then multiply it by 8. Make equation 1 or 2 equal. So we have divide. So we are going to divide equation 1, divide equation 1 by 5 and multiply by 8. Now, dividing equation 1 by 5, we have 5f. Are we together? divide equation 1 by 5 and multiply by 8, then we subtract it from equation 2. Well, now let's divide first. Equation 1 is what we are dividing now. We have 5 plus, so this is, okay, equation 1 I divided by 5. Equation, okay, let me check my material. Equation 1 says, oh, sorry, equation 1 says, okay, so we have, equation 1, we have, when we divide, we have 10 here, divide equation 1 by 5, we have 10, we have 5, we have 1t. Then when we divide 100, if we divide 50 by 5, we should be having 25, if I'm not mistaken. So 100 by 5 now, we should be having like 50. 100 by 5, 100 by 5, we're having 20. Beg your pardon. So we have 20. Now multiply by 8. Multiply everything here by 8. If you have to multiply everything here by 8, what do we have? So we have 8 multiplied by 5. We have 40f plus 8t equals, so when we multiply 20 by 8, we have 160, and this is equation 3. I believe we are all clear on this. What we did is that we divided equation 1 by 5. We divided equation 1 by 5, then we multiply it by 8. Now as you can see, we have 8t. Let's observe. We have 8t in equation 3 and 8t in equation 2. Mission accomplished. Okay. So we then subtract from equation 2. So what we are doing next now, we are going to subtract equation 3 from this equation 2. So let me just erase this. So okay, let me write this down. So I'll rewrite it again. Equation 2, we have 15f plus 8t equals 120, which is equation 2. Erase this quickly. Okay, so I have equation 2 as 15f. Yeah, I believe we all can see 15f plus 8t equals, it's getting late. I don't want to delay. I don't want to hold us. A lot of us have a very stressful day, and I myself I've been awake all day. I'm supposed to be resting today. Today happens to be my off day, but I've been awake all day studying, preparing for different classes. So we have equation 3 as 40f plus 80 and 160. So I really want us to go through this and close the class before 12. Okay, so now we are substituting. So now what we are doing is that we are subtracting equation 2 from equation 3. Subtracting equation 2 from equation 3. Equation 3. So we have and remove 15 from 40, should be left with 30. That should be 25F plus we have T, which is 1T, equals, this is 140. This is equation 4. I believe you understand up to this level. I believe you understand on to this level. So we can say 25F plus 1 plus 1T, or we can say plus T, equals 140. So we can bring this I hope we understand up to this level. Oh, Mr. Jilla said no. Okay. Who else? Who else? Is it just Mr. Jolas? Do we? Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to it. But I just want to be sure. Okay, Ms. Witzka also said no. Okay. Okay, 120 subtract 160. Yeah, that should be 40. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's an error from me. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to take us through it again. I'm going to take us through it again. I'm going to take us through it again. Just a moment and get my material. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go through it. Let's go through it together again. All right. So let's just go through it again. Let's go through it again. So let me write out my equations. And please, I need us all to be together on this. Now, this is the equation. It says here UAC equals 10 bags of flour plus 5 tins of butter equals 100. That's our equation 1. Then we have UCC equals 15 bags of flour plus 8 tins of butter equals 120. That's our equation 2. So now we say divide equation 1 by 5 and multiply it by 8. We are using this elimination method, but we have to have either of the coefficients as equal. either of the coefficient as equal. So how do we arrive at this? We have to divide equation 1. We have to divide equation 1 by 5 and equation 2 multiply, and equation 1, the same equation after we have done dividing, then we multiply by it. Now how do we do that? Now this is equation 1. 5 divided by 10 give us 2, which is 2f, plus 5 divided by 1, that's just t. 5 in 100, that should be 20. Now let's multiply by 8. Now this one multiply by this one, 8 multiplied by this one should give us 16f, plus this one should give us 8, that's 8t. This one should give us 140 if I'm not mistaken. Eight multiplied by 20 is 140, 160, I beg your pardon. So 160. So we have our equation. We have our equation 3. Do you understand it up to this level? Do you understand it up to this level? Mr. Joseph, Mr. Jolas, who else? Who else do I have there? Miss Blessing, Miss Justina, Mr. Justice, Oluwadamilola. Do we understand it up to this level? Do we understand it up to this level before we can move on? Okay, I think I'm getting the responses I require. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on then. Okay, so we now have equation 3. Let me raise it up a bit. Equation 3, we have 16f plus 8t equals 160. Equation 3. So now the next thing we are doing now, we are going to subtract equation 2 from equation 3. We are going to subtract equation 2. Is this person doing all this thing now? Equation 2, subtract equation 2 from equation 3. From equation 3. Now we are going to subtract equation 2 from equation 3. Now this is what we are doing. Now this is equation 3, this is equation 2. Now equation 2 says 15 minus 16f. That means we have 1f. Are we together? 1f plus this plus sign, we bring it down. 8 minus 8, that one just gives us 1t. 8 minus 80, normally should I give it? It's the same thing as just t. This is the same thing as just f. I hope you understand. I think that's not even necessary. Since we are eliminating, so 8. No, let me write it out. Let me not confuse us. Let me write it out. Let me write it out plainly, so we don't get confused. So now let me erase this. Let me write equation 2 separately. I have my equation 2 on the board. Let me just write out clearly so I don't get confused. Now, equation 2, I have 15f. 15f as equation 2 plus 8t equals 120. That's equation 2. Then equation 3, I have 16f plus 8t equals 160. That's equation 3. So what we are doing now, we are subtracting equation 2 from equation 3. So we are subtracting equation 2, subtract equation 2 from equation 3. So this one now gives us f. This one cancels this one. 8t cancels 8t. Is same as 1f. 8t cancels 8t. So we have f equals, and we said remove all, this is 100 gone, 60, that's 40. So we can say f implies, remember this sign in logic, this implies that f equals 40. Are we good? Can we proceed? May we proceed? Mr. Jolas, Mr. Joseph, okay, Olodabla said yes. Miss Blessing, can we proceed? Do we understand it up to this level? Okay, awesome. So we will proceed. Okay, so let's just proceed. So now that we have our f, so we have our f already. So let's just write our f here. So since we have our f already, so we can just we can move on. So we have f equals 40. Right, let me keep that somewhere. And so now the next thing we are doing is that we are going to substitute for f in order to get t. Let's not forget we have about two of them. We have f and we have t. So now that I've gotten f, to get t, okay, thank you. Now that I've gotten f, to get t, just like what we did the other time, we have to substitute our answer for f into any of the equation. So let's try that and see. In equation 1, equation 1 and equation 2. So I don't have equation 1 here, so let me use equation 2 first. So by the time I'm done with equation 2, then I can copy out equation 1 and solve for it. So equation 2 here says 15 into bracket 40 plus 8t equals 120. So we have 15 multiply 15 multiplied by 40, we have 600. So we have 600 plus 8t equals 120. So if we bring this 8t forward equals, then this 600 comes here, then we have minus 120. Hope we understand up to this level. Do you understand up to this level? So we can say 80 equals 600 minus 120. So we should be having, if we remove 100 from, that should be 500. So when you remove 20 from 500, you should be left with 480. So now 480, when you divide both sides by the coefficient of t, which is 8. So we have 8t all over 8 is equals to 480 divided by 8. So let's see what our answer is. 480 divided by 8. 480 divided by 8. We have 60. I believe we can see clearly. So let me get out my equation 1. Okay, equation 1 says here, equation 1 says 10. Equation 1 says 10f plus 5t equals 100. So since we are solving for f, then we say 10 into bracket 40 plus 5t equals 100. So we have 10 multiplied by 40, that should give us 400 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have 400. So that's 400 plus 5t equals 100. So we have to bring this 5t forward. What's our answer, please? Let me okay. No, we don't have that time. 5t equals, so if this one is to come forward, there's got 400, this one minus 100. So we have 5t equals, when you remove 100, we have 300. So when we divide both sides, we have t. Let's see, 300 divided by 5, if our answer is right. We have our answer as 60. So I believe we are good. Are we good to go as we take the last question? Or let me leave the last question for us as assignment. What's the time? Okay, it's already past an hour. So I think I should just leave the last question as an assignment for us. 11:15. Yeah, I think that's fine. But do we understand up to this level? Do we understand up to this level? Mr. Jolas, Oluwadamilola, think it. Do you understand up to this level? Okay, Mr. Joseph, are you still with us? Okay, do we understand it up to this level? Okay, Ms. Rosita said yes. Awesome. So should we take one more question, or I should leave it as an assignment? Should we take one more question? Even if we take that one more question, there will still be assignment too. I need us to practice this. Even though I'm taking one more question, I'm still giving assignments. So should I just give the assignment, or I should take one more question? Okay, which question, please? I didn't see it. Please ask the question again. Mr. Jolas, please ask the question again. Miss Justina, okay, 60. Okay, thank you. Mr. Jolas, I asked the question before. I'm trying to check the comment section. 120, trying to check the comment section. You said here, Mr. Jolas, please, can you ask the question again? can you please ask the question again so we can 1f is the same thing. Is the same thing. You know, I said it before that usually in mathematics, whenever you have x like this, there is need for you to calculate with a coefficient. It's assumed that there's an invisible one. But in this situation, whereby we are looking for to eliminate the coefficient of x, so this invisible one is insignificant. If it was 2, then it is significant. But having this 2x simply means x plus x. You know, when you say 1x, is the same thing as x. And when you say 3x, it's the same thing as x plus x. Why am I writing 3 for crying out loud? Plus x. Ah, God, why am I writing 3? So, do you understand? So if you have said 1x, is it the same thing as x? Okay? Are we good? So, let me give us, so I'm asking us for the last time, should I take one more question or I should just give us assignments? What is it going to be? Okay. Yes, in what sense? Should I take one more question? Instructors, you're welcome. Should I take one more question? And we have about 10 people streaming this live and just only 4 people has liked this video. Please, if you are here to like the video, please do well to smash the like button. Okay? One person said assignment. Okay, assignment. Awesome. So now, assignment. I have 1x plus y equals 3, and I have x plus 2y equals 5. Number 2, I have 4x plus 6y equals 10, and x plus 2y equals 3. And the third one, I have 40f plus 10t equals 200, and 40f plus 5t equals 500. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been a very long day, even though we were unable to do GST 103. So, but to the glory of God, 5 likes. What about the remaining 5 people? The remaining 5 people should smash the like button. So thank you very much. So, but thank God we're able to conclude CSS 121, and hopefully next week we will start with, I mean next tomorrow, not next week. I'll start with GST 104. I think the turn up for morning class is impressive compared to night class. I was thinking that at night people will have returned from work. I mean, tonight's stream is a proof that people tend to respond to classes within morning and afternoon compared to at night. You can imagine just about maximum of 15 persons has joined this stream, and in the afternoon we had about 30, we had about 40 people online viewing the stream. So we have that as that. So hopefully next week, God spare our life. I said next. Why do I keep saying next week? Next tomorrow, God spare our life. We'll take just 104. We'll conclude just 104, and we'll as well we'll take another after attempting our assignments. Please submit the assignment to the WhatsApp classes so I can attend to them. So that next class we are thinking something different. So thank you very much, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye.